Hello, hobby friends, and welcome to today's episode of Hobby Talk. My name is David Baez, and in today's episode, we are going to talk to one of our favorite sport card and unopened sellers. He is the founder of rippingvintagepacks.com and has been one of the most trusted resources for unopened sports cards in the market today. That being said, I'm excited to welcome Kurt Christensen to Hobby Talk. What's going on, Kurt?
Hey, David. So I'm doing great. So appreciate you having me on. I've had a low-key weekend here compared to the last 6 weeks. I've been buried in farm harvest, and we're starting to wind down. So I'm really excited to be talking cards.
Awesome. I heard there's a good harvest going on in 84 Donruss, on your field, right?
Well, that's what we're hoping for. Sometimes you never know, is the 84 Fleer or the 84 Donruss going to, pop up? But all of it's good.
So Kurt, why don't we start, talking a little bit about yourself, all right, and what got you in the hobby. I always like to start the conversation with just understanding where we all started from. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm going to be the typical card collector as a kid. I got fond memories, probably dating back to late 80s. By late 80s, really late 80s, 89 to 90, 91 product I remember opening as a kid. I wouldn't have been very old then. But just had a tremendous love for cards and collecting. Didn't really have family that did it, but, I love sports and, I love cards. And, really it's never stopped. And as I got a little older, you got friends that collect cards. And I just spent, weekends and weeks, and it just was, typical kid. Let's get together with the friends and we'll open packs and trade cards.
Yeah.
We kind of had a deal where, as a kid, I liked Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr. I had other friends that Frank Thomas, Cal Ripken Jr. We just do old-fashioned trading. We'd open packs and trade cards.
Did they oversell you the Kent Herbex?
So at that time I may not have had that issue. So at that time I was putting together some Kirby Puckets. So the Herbeck issue may have evolved later.
For those of you that don't know, he's a big time Twins fan, so I'm just ribbing a little bit. But let's segue into the ripping vintage packs and how all that started. Give us a little history about that. When did it start? And how it's evolved up to today.
Okay, that's a great question. It's really a twofold answer. So I'll start with the official answer and then give you the backstory. Sure. Officially, I would say RVP started at the National in 2018 in Cleveland. We were set up there. My friend Brandon, my friend Wayne, they helped me. They're really not involved in RVP per se outside of helping me. But without those two guys, it's not possible to do what I do. They go on buy trips, they go to the shows, and are an asset that way. So we're at the show. That's really when it started. We had a name. I had a website up. It was still, I think, a little bit in transition to website, but you could, type in the name and it would pop up. The backstory, though, is I would say the groundwork of RVP came to fruition in probably around 2015. Brandon, me, and Wayne, we went to the National in Chicago. And, I'd always been collecting, even unopened at the time, not as much as I do now. But I was our first National. And I was just kind of taken back that all I could find there for unopened outside of, here or there was, of course, baseball card exchange.
Right.
But of all the other dealers and everybody else there, it just didn't look like there was much product available. And if you can remember, it was right at the start when the huge card boom exploded with vintage graded cards. Remember the huge run up in Manals and Mays and Koufaxes.
Right.
And, it was kind of we were talking that show was just, we felt like the boxes and the packs were just incredibly undervalued. And there wasn't a lot of outlets for people to go get that stuff. So, you kind of had this in the back of your mind. We loved cards, collected them. It was a passion, it was a hobby. And I would say from 2015 through 2017, those 2 years was literally just acquiring inventory. I did nothing but buy. I bought it anywhere, everywhere, nonstop. I mean, I was just buying product like crazy. Nobody knew me. You know, few collectors did, but, you know, nobody knew who I was. And I just bought anything and everything I could. We flash forward to the National, like 2017. That was the first time we set up. Didn't have a name then, didn't know where it was going to go. And that National kind of took as, you know, kind of gathering some names, making some connections.
It was like a pilot for you guys, right?
It was. We were buried in the corner in Chicago. We had this huge post sitting right in the middle of our booth. So we're supposed to have a booth.
Prime real estate.
You know, so our booth was half size. We had all this product wrapped around. Nobody could really find us. But you're right. It was kind of a pilot. Let's gauge the market. We got a little traction. And it was at that point when, you know, I could say for sure, is like, you know, I think this is something I want to do. And the next year, from the National 2017 to the National 2018, was really when full plans went into mode to, you know, try to develop this into something that actually works as a brand.
For all those that don't know, I am quite the customer, and I love the products, and I've done everything from the brakes to buying unopened and all that. You have on a great store, you have awesome product, and you have it all the time. So kudos to you, and you know, and ripping vintage packs. That's great outlet for us unopened nerds.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, just like you said, I was going to mention it. You know, you've been a brake customer for years, and really, RVP got started before there was any of this retail type store. We started in the fall of 2017. I mean, you were in some of these. We were breaking boxes, you know, 85 Donners, 92 Bowman in the bottom of Brandon's basement. And that's really how we offered, you know, the first product and service. Thanks to my friend Mickey Davis of 99% Group. You know, you remember there.
Yeah.
He let come into his group and offer those things. And, you know, really just started as a deal that people could enjoy cards for a night. And, you know, we were in the bottom of his basement, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, I've in some of those I've mentioned in prior episodes, you know, my son's really into it, and I've lured him into the world of vintage a little bit, which is really cool. And some of those packs that we were buying from you during your earlier breaks was me and him literally just watching, you know, before bedtime and getting that 82, that 83, that 85 and seeing. And one of them, we had a massive hit, actually. I'll never forget it. The 82, it was the 83 Donruss rack, where in the same rack, we ended up with the Boggs and the Sandberg rookie. Yeah. So, I mean, he still talks about that to that day. You know, it was a nice memory, and it lends itself to what we've always been talking about in this group about the stories behind the cards, and those breaks are a big part of that too.
And that's really what I'm after as RVP myself. I mean, it's a side gig. You know, I'm a full-time farmer. That's never going to change. I love farming. I love cards, and I approach it as, I think it's a way to guys to get together and just enjoy cards. You know, we all know ins and outs of, you know, the hobby, the goods and bads, but you know what I've really strived for, even like I said before there was RVP. I mean, it just was fun. You know, there was 15, 20 of us in a box. We sat there and we talked cards for half hour. You know, you're going to poop down, you're going to have good hits, you know, have fun stories, but it just ended up being a way that, you know, we could relate and talk to each other over some cards for a week.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's segue a little bit into the products that we can find on your site. What do you, you know, what's the range of products that you're offering currently on your website?
So there's two distinct parts of the website, and you know this. So if you go to the website, you'll see a store section and you'll see a live break section. The store section is your traditional retail type store. You'll see a range of products. You click on it, you purchase it, and it gets sent out. Typical unopened stuff, I would say I specialized in 1981 through 90s product. Your Donners, Fleer, Topps, all sports, though most people that visit my website will see there's a lot more baseball there than other sports. Some of that's by design, some of that's my own collecting likes. I approach a lot of things by what I like to collect. Baseball is my number one thing I like to collect, so you see a lot more baseball. So you got the store section, and then you have the live break section. Live break section are just like it sounds. It's the weekly Thursday night break show we do, and there you will find, I would say, from 1978 through the 90s, quite possibly the most extensive list of products available. You're not going to see me opening 55 Bowman cellos. You're not going to see me opening, 60 top stuff. Man, if I got that stuff, I'm buying it and I'm throwing it in the safe. I'm not about that. But the bulk of us, we enjoy those years, say 78 through 92. And, the list is extensive, all four sports lined up, anywhere from, 78 O-Pee-Chee hockey, 78 tops hockey, 78 tops baseball, 92 Bowman baseball. It's all there.
Right.
So there's two distinct parts of the website. We got the retail side and then our big side.
I was going to say before and not to, I really truly mean this when I say it. I think you have done a fantastic job, Kurt, of balancing and understanding the scarcity of certain products with that need and desire and that fun of ripping certain product. And I think you've kind of, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I almost feel like you see if there's that pass fail line, occurring with certain product, you're like, you know what, we've hit that point, no more ripping of this. And you kind of like, you vault it, like you say, you keep it in a safe, and then you kind of move on to some of the product that's more plentiful, so that you keep that fun going of ripping packs live. So I really commend you for that, because that's a really, you're keeping both elements of the hobby alive and well. That's awesome.
So, well, I appreciate that, and it is a concern of mine. I'm an unopened collector by nature. I just love packs. I love packs. My strict PC is cellos and racks from the 50s and 60s and 70s. Like I said, I'm not about. I see that 55 Bowman cello open, and man, I cringe. Those 60 stuff, I cringe. What somebody else does, I don't care. But it's just not something that I would feel comfortable with doing myself. I just want to own that item. And as the years have evolved, because we've been doing breaks now for really 3 years. So you're right. I always try to pay attention to, just like you said, what is available now, what looks like it's getting harder to find, and what looks like people might want. And I try to tightrope that line to not be ripping into stuff that, we really think is getting scarce. It's always a guess to what that might be or whatnot. But I'm such an unopened collector at nature. I just can't do it on that older stuff.
Yeah, no, and again, that's awesome. I really commend you for that. So let me ask you this: what, in terms of the product that you're currently offering on your website, what would you say right now is the most popular or highest demand, or perhaps the one you're getting most emails about? Like, hey, do you have more of this? What's out there right now in terms of popularity for you?
So it's a great question, and I got a side answer to your last question that I forgot to mention. Most people that know me also know I have a tremendous amount of inventory that's not on the website. So I get emails all the time about what's available that's not on the website. So, which is fine. Go ahead and email. So that segues into your question right now. The stuff I get asked about most is the stuff I don't want to sell.
Well, what a shock, right?
But to get to the honest answer then of what's being asked of me that I do want to sell, it is more of the 87 Donruses, 89 Donruss, 89 Fleer stuff. A lot of that junkier year stuff has really exploded in popularity. And of course, I do a tremendous amount of sales with 81 Tops, 84 Donruss, that type of stuff. But I would give you two answers. It's the junkier stuff, and then 83 Tops baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is my take on it, but I really think a lot of the years that you're talking about, the correlation there are the amazing collection of rookies that you can find in those sets. You have at least three monster rookies in those years that you just referenced.
And if there's one product going back to, like I said, in 2015, when I was just trying to, buy everything and anything I could. And I mean, wherever it was, I was buying it through, now. So a 5-year period, if there's one product that seems like it's more difficult for me to acquire and keep in stock, it's 83 tops. I'm not sure why that is. I don't have a magic ball that give you that answer. But for me, it's always the shelf. And I look at my shelves, what's available, what do I need to try to buy? It's always, well, God, I'm low on 83 tops.
Yeah, I need more. Right? Yeah, and it's crazy because I mean, I have, I do have some 83 tops, and I'm a fan as well, like many of the guys on the group. But, yeah, it's the price. I mean, what I could have bought it for 6 months ago versus now, it's like what? I mean, I don't want to exaggerate, but I would maybe 3x, right?
Well, I'll tell you this: at the National in Chicago of 2019, which was a little over a year ago, which was the last National, I had 83 tops wax boxes available for sale. I think at $375. I believe Baseball Card Exchange may have been $390. I know they weren't $400. So you were upper 300s, and
Yeah.
I sold some, but not a lot. So flash forward to now, I would say in a good authenticated, known, legit box, you're looking at $850 to $950.
That's right.
So
And forget about the infamous Michigan
yeah,
box.
we haven't even
That's
discussed
another
that.
premium.
Yeah, that amount of growth, and it didn't jump right away. It stayed at that $400 range for a while. But that amount of growth in that product was substantial.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it. It's a great product. And then you just caught a little insight for me. It's been one product 5 years that it seems like I can never have enough of it for people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, this is just my theory. Obviously there's probably a lot of reasons behind it, the rookies being one, but I also think there's something to the fact that was really the last year from that 80s, early 90s era, before the Tiffany product came out, which then all of a sudden really made like segmented that ultra premium tops product. You only had like tops and O-Pee-Chee, and then the Michigan, I guess, obviously is an asterisk there. But again, that's just my theory. I think when the 84 came out with that Tiffany set, it created kind of like a different layer, right, in terms of product premium.
Well, it's probably a combination of reasons, and that certainly could be part of it. That reminds me of a little quick story here, and I didn't think about it till right now. 1 year later, 84 tops. Now, of course, it's not as great as a rookie class. No Hall of Famers, though. Two very popular players, Mattingly and
Right.
Strawberry, are in there. But so for 5 years, I said I always struggle to find 83 tops. Even when I'm willing to pay anything for it, I can't find it. 84 tops, on the other hand, it seems like I can't buy a deal or go anywhere without just getting flooded with it. I got so much 84 tops, it's unbelievable. It's everywhere for me. It just seems, every deal I show up to buy or, get asked about is just all over the place. Complete opposite. Nothing for 83 and 84. My goodness, it's all over.
Everybody's selling their 84s so they can buy 83s. Yeah. That's crazy.
And that could just be a little, I'm sure there's a little bit of fluke to that too. I'm such a small person out there, looking for stuff. But what I've encountered is just have been polar opposites for a product that's 1 year different.
So Kurt, let me ask you, can you share with us, I know you were mentioning it earlier with Brandon and your team, with hobby finds, right? Finding that product. Can you share maybe one of those stories about your favorite hobby find, and why was it one of your favorites?
Always a phenomenal question. I love hearing that about anybody who goes about, buying product, doing auction consignments, collectors, what they can find. And I got a couple ones for you. The best one is, and this is where, like I said, RVP kind of really started taking off after the 2018 National. You know, I was there with a brand, with a website, met a lot of people. I got a phone call in September of 2018, and we were in harvest mode. And then, you know me, you know, when I'm in harvest mode, a lot of stuff gets shut down.
Yeah.
During this phone call, I was starting to realize what type of inventory this guy was talking about of having available. And it was substantial. And it was substantial enough that I went to my dad on the farm. I went to Brandon, who works for me on the farm. And I says, guys, I know we're in harvest, but we're leaving tomorrow and we're going to Michigan. I says,
Wow.
I don't know what we have to do for help, what we got to do, but I says, we are gone. I says, we'll knock it out and we'll drive up there all night. We'll come back as quick as we can. But I says, we're leaving. And I pulled a 28-foot enclosed trailer, and we stacked up about 100 sealed cases of 81 through 85 products. All just phenomenal stuff.
Wow. That's amazing.
See, so this is also will gravitate into the fine line I play as a collector myself, that I just hate selling stuff. And as I'm trying to offer as a dealer to offer products that other people want. This buy, there was a sealed 83 Michigan wax case. The only known wrapped FASC 84 Fleer came from this. And I'm still sitting.
That's a tough product to find, man. Wow.
So it just was a phenomenal find, phenomenal buy. You know, nothing here was like, well, there was a 70 football case or something. You know, it wasn't anything crazy rare, but just the amount of quantity of good 81 through 85 product. And I was fortunate enough at the time to be able to buy that and really not do anything with it. And in fact, I still have, I would say probably 75% of that buy, including that Michigan wax case, the 84 Fleer. I mean, it's still sitting in my collection.
That's awesome. I can only imagine what that looks like. You just threw me off for a look. That would have been like, that would have been a jaw dropping, you know, like I said in the other interview, like a Carmina Burana as you're opening up that storage unit, you know, like that's just got to be a really cool experience altogether. You were making a few references about your personal collection, and I've been fortunate enough to see here and there some of your personal collection. I've also, and you know, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but one of the most important items in my personal collection came from you, and it's just a testament to who you are, not only as your site at Ripping Vintage Packs, but just you as a collector. You have an amazing collection, and the fact that you know that maybe some of us are like really like attached to certain players or certain years, you've always been really awesome working with us on that, and I just wanted to commend you for that. And in a future episode, I'll show you guys, but the item I'm talking about is a 1962 unopened cello with Roberto Clemente showing on it, and I mean, that one's going to my grave. And I think you kind of could tell how much it meant to me, because like that was, I mean, that is up there. That is like 1A, 1B on my PC list. So going into your PC though, I don't know if you have anything you can show us now, but I would love to see some of that really cool stuff you have, if you could share with us.
I brought a couple pieces here, so I'll pick them up here in a second. And you know, I'm glad you brought that up, that Roberto Clemente pack. One thing I try to do, I mentioned a little earlier, you know, I have a tremendous amount of stuff that is never on the website for, you know, just open sale. You know, basically anything pre 81, you know, I don't have much available. But, you know, I know a lot of people. I've made a tremendous amount of friends, yourself included, and I'm a collector. Guys know my needs and wants, and I try to make it a point that to know what people are looking for, and if I'm able to come across it, you know, to get it to them. For example, I just had a buy recently on, it was a 79 baseball wax tray case. All kinds of people would want that item. But I had a friend I knew desperately wanted it, got it, and I moved it to him right away. So I kind of have that. It's not a black book, but, I keep a list of guys like yourself that, I know are really looking for this stuff. And, if I find it, I love nothing more than to getting product into collectors' hands that desperately want it, because I know my PC needs, when people have done that to me, it's just phenomenal. Collectors helping collectors, and those are items I know that are likely, just like you said, people are taking to the grave with them.
Yeah, I speak for a lot of the collectors that we really appreciate that, Kurt. We definitely do.
So to get through some items, I brought 7 items here. So
nice. All right, let's check it out.
Off 7 items. These aren't per se my most favorite items, but they're good ones, and I thought people would enjoy. These are part of my PC. I have right here a 1952 Bowman baseball wax pack. I picked this up this year. Clean pack is graded a 7. No mold. The issues with a lot of those old packs are molding and staining and type deals. So no molding and staining, which I was pleased about.
I mean, a 7's a monster grade for that type of pack. I can't imagine there's very many graded higher than that.
Yeah, so it's a tough pack. So I just was happy to get my hands on that. Most people know I'm not particularly fond of wax packs as a PC, but in 52 Bowman, I ain't going to be picky.
I was going to say, there's exceptions to the rule, right?
Exactly. The rest of these you're going to see familiar sign is cellos and racks, because that's what I really PC. Here is a 71 Topps baseball cello pack. I think the
Those
PSA
are tough.
Yeah. PSA Pop Reports under 20, 15, 18, packs. Very tough packs. This one I was after for years. I had this huge hole in my cello pack run. It was 71 Topps. So I was fortunate enough to pick that up from REA this last March. So that was a huge hole I found. This next pack here is probably my favorite pack. This is a 61 baseball cello pack. I know you've seen it with Roger Maris.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is really cool.
What stands out about this, I mean, the Roger Maris 61 card is legendary, the year he hit 61 homers. And it's just sitting there, just smack dead center. I mean, it's just.
I was going to say the centering on that card is like spot on.
I mean, it looks like the card should be sitting in a PSA 10 holder. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great cello.
I mean, I don't have a single pack that has better eye appeal than that Maris. It's just phenomenal. I got one more cello here, then I'll show some racks. This is a 1960 cello, and you can see Mr. Mantle on the top.
Very cool.
We talk about all, fake pack backpacks. It's got Mr. Boyer on there as well, but to own a legit pack with Mantle on top showing is pretty cool. Got 3 racks here. We follow the unopened market. What's a rack that never shows up? 1972 Topps. We know 71s are hard, 70s are hard, 73s are hard. But no, it seems like 72s for whatever reason just never show up. Here is a 72 Topps baseball rack pack, and if you can see, it has the Carlton Fish rookie showing up.
Yes, I see. Oh my God. That is, I mean, you to your point, 72s are so incredibly hard to find in and of itself, but to get the key rookie showing on the rack, that is legendary.
I mean, I don't even know I don't even know the last time I've seen one for sale, a 72, a big variety.
I don't recall either.
And even, I've looked at all the major auctions, I don't know. It's been years. This one, you'll definitely know why I chose this. As you mentioned earlier, I'm a Twins fan. Here's a 70 baseball rack with Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven's rookie on top. That one wouldn't be, that one would be hard for me to leave in the.
Yeah, that might be good for one of the next questions I have for you.
And then one more for you, and this has a Twins appeal to it as well. 68 Topps rack with Rod Carews, not his rookie. That's 67, but his first solo card. It's his rookie cup card shown on top.
That is amazing. That you have a jaw-dropping collection, and I can only imagine what else you have. I hope maybe in future episodes, if you don't mind, showing some more, man. I'm game.
So it's just fun. Like I said, I'm a collector at heart. I love this stuff. The RVP thing, what I do, I love too, and I just try to blend that line of being a collector, being part-time, but trying to approach everything as a collector. And I think that just gives me a different approach when how I do stuff.
Yeah, I know it's very noticeable, like I was saying before, and yeah, keep up the great work on what you're doing. So Kurt, let's change gears a little bit. I wanted to end the interview like I've been doing with all my previous interviews and ask you two little, outside the box questions and get you thinking a little bit, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
All right. So if you had to give up your entire collection, and it's a perfect segue after showing those buttes you just have there, but you had to give up that entire collection, except for one item, what would it be and why?
Wow.
Don't stress out, Kurt.
So I have the answer, and I have it with me here. So
okay.
I will show it. Most people some people know, but most people may not know this. I said I'm a huge baseball fan. Got this huge cello pack run, rack pack run. You just saw some of these packs. I mean, these are packs I have no intention of selling, but I would sell anything and everything I have before I would part with my 66 Topps Batman cello packs. I don't know what it is about Batman. I've always been a Batman fan. This is his only Topps issue at the vintage era. And these are the Riddler back cello packs, incredibly rare. They're like 71 Topps. They got black borders on them. The pop report on the cards is I think there's 3 total 10s in the entire pop report. So just an incredibly hard card to begin with. And I own a few of these cello packs. The last thing I would ever sell would be this Riddler Batman pack.
That is so cool, and I've never seen that before. By the way, that is so cool. Love it. And I know you were always big into the non-sports and Batman in particular, but I didn't know you had, until recently. I've seen some of your posts where I didn't realize how extensive your non-sport collection is. That would be a cool future topic in and of itself. By the way, that's some cool stuff you have there.
So yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but from the moment I laid eyes on the first one of those, it just was. It just never left me. It's just the coolest piece I own.
Yeah,
definitely
great.
Definitely not the most expensive. It's up there with one of the most difficult to find. I can say that. Extremely difficult to find, but not nearly the most expensive. But it's my favorite item.
Awesome. So. Last question for you, buddy, is outside of sports cards and everything we've just talked about today, what's one hobby or project that you enjoy doing, and why do you enjoy doing it?
That would be Ironman triathlons. So I'm just
very cool. All right.
I'm a huge endurance sport nut. Fortunately, when I was a little bit younger, my body allowed me to in a few Ironmans, and I follow that sport to a T. I'm gonna watch all kinds of pros blogs. I just love everything about it.
That's very cool. And now I've seen some of your posts where you've gone on these bike runs and some incredible speeds, and then here I am on my mountain bike, barely breaking 5 miles an hour going uphill. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive, man. Awesome, Kurt. I can't thank you enough for this, and I hope I can bring you back, and we can talk up a lot of other stuff. There's so much that we can sit here and talk about. So again, I can't thank you enough for this and for showing your collection.
So I appreciate it. I'll be happy to come on anytime.
Great, thanks. We'll talk soon.
We'll see you.
Thanks for watching today's episode, guys. Before you go, real quick, if you could click that like button and that subscribe button for me, I will greatly appreciate it, guys. It's just going to help grow the hobby networking group. And I promise I'm going to keep on bringing that awesome content your way. I'll be watching those comments. Let me know what you guys want, and I will do my best to deliver, guys. Thank you so much. Very humble for your time. Very appreciative. Go on hobbynetworkgroup.com. You'll see we're on Twitter. We are on Instagram. Very soon on Facebook, as well as podcasts to come super soon. And I'll share those links on the website. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day. Take care.